e-learning portal. This is the fourth video of the second session of the International Rail Transport module. We're left with one of the international organizations that regulate international rail transport. This organization is called AGC. AGC stands for European Agreement on Main International Rail Lines. I'll take it again. AGC stands for European Agreement on Main International Rail Line. This international organization that regulates rail transport has one major objective set for it, and it is for the adoption of international e-rail network consisting of main lines and establishment of a coordinated plan for development and construction of rail lines of major international importance at set technical and operational characteristics. So you see, even in those years, there was the foresight to look at electronic rail network, that consisted of all the main lines and the establishment of a coordinated plan for development and construction of rail lines of major international importance at set technical and operational characteristics. This organization is made up of about 24 countries, of which 14 of them used to be the former European Union countries, and now EU has extended to 28 members, so it is much larger organization now. So just as UNIS, just as OTIF, AGC is also an international organization that regulates rail transport. Having finished with the international organizations that regulate rail transport, we move on straight to international organizations of rail transport. I said these ones do not regulate. They are just international organizations that are worth knowing about as you freight forwarders in the transport industry. The first such organization is called UIC. UIC stands for International Union of Railways, and is made up of over 177 members of railway undertakings, and these over 170 members come from over 94 countries across the world. There are certain countries that have more than one or two members in the UIC. The objectives of UIC are as follows: the development and forwarding specifications and standards to standardization bodies. There are standardization bodies, and the UIC works towards meeting the standards set by such international organization for standardizations. They act as a technical platform to support work of railway organization. This particular group does not regulate, but they are made up of private concerns. So they also are mimicking what they do, so that when they have to come together, there will be harmonization and it will become easier for them to adapt and move forward from where they are. And it was also set up, as head of international rail corporations. What OTIF and OZZE were doing as international bodies, these are private concerns coming together, and they are carriers in rail transport, and they seem to be mimicking what OSJD and OTIF and also UNIS were set up to do. They also had the mandate to define provisions and recommendations from its members, and they were tasked to conclude agreements with intergovernmental organizations and other trade organizations responsible for transport. See, this is a private sector group that is set up to look at what the government sector was doing so that they could match up and make things easier. Because what UNIS, OTIF, OSJD were doing on behalf of government were meant to inure to the benefit of the private sector and traders in general and carriers as well. So the carriers also formed, a body to, really work in a way that they could meet the governmental organization at the point, and it would be easier for them to implement whatever is set out to help them to be efficient and work better. One other major organizations of rail transport is also the UIRR. UIRR stands for the International Union of Combined Road Rail Transport Companies. Probably they are the largest now. At the time of these notes, the members were about 20. Now they are far more, and they used to come from just the old European Union. Now the European Union has extended, so it's made up of 28 members. So that is, they are from several modern day European countries. And at the time of raising this, they represented approximately 60% of total volume of goods conveyed in Europe. And it was founded in 1970 in Germany, Munich. And if you look at the statistics that was put down here, starting from 1970, they carried 230,000 units of shore bodies and semi-trailers on the national level, and then that is for Germany. And then only 17,000 units of international traffic when it started in Munich. But by 2000, they moved from 230,000 units to 2 million consignments. And by 1997-98, they adopted new structures and made it open to all combined transport operators. So that is for UIRR. You may refer to UIRR and know more about them from the internet. The second international organization of rail transport is CER. CER stands for Community of European Railway and Infrastructure Companies. At the time of these notes, it was made up of 53 railway and infrastructure companies from the EU, Norway, Switzerland, Serbia, Montenegro, and Bosnia-Herzegovina. It was then based in Brussels as of today and represents its members' interests in the European Union Parliament, and all policy areas of significance to rail transport are dealt with, which offers advice and recommendation to what European policy makers. This brings us to the end of the fourth video in the second session in international rail transport.